Hello guys, welcome to AppDev channel. In today's video, we will talk about the different advantages of the cloud computing. In the last video, we talked about the definition of the cloud computing and what is the necessity of the cloud computing. All those things we have seen it, right? So, what is a cloud computing? Uh, it's an on-demand delivery of services over the internet and pay for them only for the usage, right? That's what we have seen it in the earlier video. So whenever you need more and more servers for your application, you just have to go to the cloud service provider console like AWS console or the Azure console, Azure portal, or whatever it is, GCP portal or anything, right? You just have to do some few clicks by selecting the required servers configuration, and that's it. The resources or the servers will be allocated to you. That's called on demand. In on-premise, while you are building the on-premise systems, you have to do a lot of analysis, and you have to go to the market and buy the resources, servers, physical servers, CPU, storage devices, everything on your own. It will take some weeks and months to create, build, and deploy that particular server into the production, right? But in while coming to the cloud computing, it just matter of 2 to 3 minutes to get a new server onboarded onto your system. Similarly, when you don't need them, you just have to deallocate them. That's it. The server will not be used anywhere for in your account or for your system. So that is called as on-demand delivery of the services. So someone will be providing those services on demand to you. They will be maintaining, I mean, there will be some data centers that are maintained to store all these services or to provide these services on demand to you. So that someone is called as the cloud service provider. So there are many cloud service provider available in the market. AWS, Azure, Google are the major cloud service provider, public cloud service provider available in the market. So what are the advantages of cloud? So the first advantage is about the cost savings, right? Cost savings. We have seen one of the disadvantages about the on-premise systems is capital expenditure, right? Capital expenditure means you have to do a one-time investment or the big investment upfront itself for all the servers that will be utilized even though in future. Suppose you are buying some 10 servers based on your capacity analysis, 10 servers in this year, but you are expecting the traffic that will be coming to handle those many requests will be in the third year or fourth year, even though you have to buy all of them now itself, because it will take a lot of time to deploy the new resources. You cannot deploy the new resources upfront itself, deploy immediately in the on-premise systems, right? So while building on-premise systems, you have to spend a lot of money. But while coming to the cloud-based systems, right, you don't need to build them upfront itself. Okay, when you see traffic is getting increased, right, you can increase the server capacity or on the fly itself, and the only for that duration you should be able to pay the cost for the usage that for the duration you have used it. So you don't need to do any upfront spendings on the servers or the IT systems. So based on that, you will be saving a lot of money for your organization and the deployment time. So the building and spinning up a new server or a platform will not take much time. You just need to select the required configuration of the server or the CPU type, memory, and the storage, everything. You just need to select them once you are subscribed to the cloud service provider through their console. Providers will immediately allocate you a server. That's it. You just need to do some 2 3. You just need to wait for 2 3 minutes. The server will be allocated. The deployment of new server will be fraction of minutes. or just 2 3 minutes time you will be allocated within your server. Deployment time is very less. Okay. Next, global reach. So cloud service providers established their data centers around the globe in different regions, right? So you just have to select a region and deploy your application. That's it. You can select a region where your most of the customers will reside, so that the latency will be very less and performance will be very high. You can also select multiple regions and deploy the applications. So suppose if you are building an application that is targeted for US customers and you are staying in India, right? Even then you can select a region where your most customers are reside. So you can select the regions as North America, US, or whatever the region that is applicable for you, nearest to your most of the customers is, right? You can select that region and you can deploy the application there, so that the latency will be very less for the customers. Customers will be seeing the faster response of the application, right? Similarly, not only that region, you can deploy the application into multiple regions, because there is a global reason. The multiple regions are there, and the data centers are maintained by the cloud service provider across the globe in different regions. Okay. Next, scalability. Scaling up and scaling down the resources according to the traffic comes to your application can be easily done in cloud computing. You just have to configure some rules based on the traffic and based on the CPU usage of a particular server you want to increase. Then you just have to configure that rule, and more servers or the more CPU will be allocated to your system. It won't be that difficult as compared to the on-premise systems. Next is elasticity. I mean, scaling, we have seen it, right? Scaling up and scaling down. We can do it manually also, but that can be configured to do automatically based on some traffic thresholds. That is called as elasticity. Scalability is about bringing up or bringing down the servers based on the capacity. Doing that up and down automatically based on some threshold or rules, that is called as elasticity. Okay, elastic. If there is more pressure, then it will be increase. If there is less pressure, then its size will be decreased, right? Similarly, when there is more traffic, its size will be automatically increased. The servers will More servers will be added. When there is less traffic, servers will be deallocated. Only less servers will be there to handle the requests. Next, availability. Most of the cloud service providers are providing 99.95 or 99.99 percentage of the availability, because there will be a lot of teams that are managing their data centers, and so they will be keeping an eye on tracking all the resources and all their systems, everything. So availability is very high compared to your on-premise systems. When there is an issue with your on-premise systems, then your application is unavailable, and it will take some time, much time, to bring it up, because it needs a lot IT experts of your organization to work on the issue and bring it available, right? So when it comes to the cloud computing, vendors or cloud service providers, they are providing some 99.99 and 99.95 percentage of availability for issue as an SLA. Okay. Next, data security. So although the data is not being stored on premises, right? When the data is stored in the on-premise systems, you have a lot of control. You can implement the security standards. You can customize the security standards as per your requirement. So the security will be very high in your on-premise systems. You will be having the whole control. But when the data is moving to the cloud service providers provided a lot of security principles, hundreds of security standards they're following to provide the uh, to provide data only for the legitimate users, or to provide security to your systems. Okay. Data backup and restoration. So data backup and restoration, they have that separate services are being provided by the cloud service providers. So data backup can be done with 15 minutes interval, 5 minutes interval, 30 minutes interval, whatever interval duration you need, that data will be backed up, and restoring the data from that system is also very easy, and it will be done very fast compared to the on-premise data backup and restoration systems. Maintenance. Maintenance is also another advantage of the cloud computing systems, because very minimal maintenance is required, as the resources like servers, application servers, database servers will be managed, as you are releasing them from the cloud service provider, they will be managed by the cloud service providers. So you just need to maintain a very minimal resource IT experts team to maintain your application. Remaining all the services that you are leasing from the cloud service provider or AWS, they will be managed by the AWS itself. Okay, that's all about the advantages of any cloud computing system. In the next video, we will meet to discuss about the differences between capital expenditure and the operational expenditure. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.